Welcome to your second video on beginning HTML. In this video, we are going to be looking at HTML lists. So let's get started. I want you to open your text editor, and as we did in the previous video, I want you to save your file. I also want you to save it in the desktop. So I want you to save it as list.html. and save. Sorry. Save it in a desktop list.html and you save. Then you load the basic HTML startup page. So this is it. In the title, write this is the tutorial you on HTML lists. So let's start with what are lists. Lists are just couple of things that are used to give different lines of explanation of different terms in web pages. That's what lists are mostly used for. They are used to list either in the bulleted form, or in numbers, or anyhow you want it. Maybe you want it to be listed without any bullet and numbers. So in this video, we're going to cover how to create a list in your HTML. So now we have we have three types of lists, but there are two mainly used one, but we are going to look at the three in this video. So now let's start with the ordered list. The ordered list is represented with the OL tag. So let's actually give this some space so that it's like this. So the ordered list is represented with the OL tag. But before we go into the ordered list, I want to explain how we create lists in HTML. If you want to create a list, you use the li tag. So depending on the number of li tags that you have, that makes more lists. Like now, if you want to have three lists, you have to have three li's. So that's how lists are created. So this is the OL tag. That's the ordered list tag. So you put the li tag in the OL tag to make it an ordered list. So now, to use the ordered lists are used in numbers. You get numbers when you use the ordered list. So now let's try writing something. Let's the boy, the girl, the man, and let's actually duplicate this. The woman. So let's save this and let's open in the browser. So now you can actually see this: the boy, the girl, the man, and the woman, which is in the numbered form. So let's use the unordered list type. So now let's just mm, copy this, and I want you to change the OL to UL in both opening and ending tags. Change it to UL and save. Then you go to your browser and you refresh the browser. So now this is the main difference between the OL tag and the UL tag, which is the ordered list tag and the unordered list tag. The ordered list tag is listed in numbers, while the unordered list tag is listed in bullets. So now there are some attributes we can add to these tags. Let's look at the ordered list tags. So the ordered list tags are listed in numbers. you can actually make them listed in letters or in Roman numerals. So you use the type attribute to do this. You just type in type attributes, then you put capital letter A for capital letters, then you save this, go to your web browser, then you refresh this. You can see we have them listed in letters, capital letters. So let's actually change this to a small letter A, and we'll save this and go to our web browser and we'll refresh this. You can see it has changed to small letters. So now let's use the Roman numerals. So we type in I, small I, then we save, then we go to our browser, then we refresh this. You can see we have the Roman numerals, and also if you try the capital letter I, then save this also, then go to your browser, then you refresh this. So you can see we got the those are the main attributes that we have in HT in the for the ordered list. So those are the type attributes we have for the unordered list. So now let's look at more attributes. So now I want to show you tax attributes. It is used to specify where you want a letter or number to start from. So let's change the type to capital letter A and start as 5. So I want you to save this and go to your browser and refresh. You can see it started from the fifth number, which is letter E. So that's a very good thing to do. And let's actually change the type to 1 and save this, and we'll go to our browser and we'll refresh this. You can see it started from the number 5. So that's a good thing about the attributes that the ordered list tag has. So now let's look at the unordered list attribute. So we also have the type attributes for the unordered list, and in the type let's type in disk, then we save this, then go to our browser, then we refresh this. So you can see that nothing actually changed. So I'm going to explain that in a minute. So I want you to change the disk to square, then save it, then go to your browser and then refresh. So you can see we have this in squares, not in circles anymore. So the disk is the default of the browser, but the browser understands the unordered list as a disk type. So it makes this to be in a disk form. So now you can customize it by changing the type to square. There is one more type you can change it to, which is circle. Circle. Then save this, go to our browser, refresh this. You can see it's in a circle form right now. So the default is the disk, which I'm actually going to leave it. Then sorry, disk not a. Then we'll save it and then we'll refresh the browser. So now I'm gonna show you. Remember I said at the beginning of the video that there are three types of lists. So there are two main ones, which are the ordered list and unordered list. So the third one is the definition list. The definition list. This list is represented by the DL tag. So we just actually type in DL to specify definition list. So this list comprises of two more other tags which are definition term. We have DT definition term, then we can write photosynthesis. Then let's save this first. Then we go to our browser, then we refresh this. You can see we just got only photosynthesis here, right here, without any change. Then after the definition term tag, then we are going to create another tag which is the definition description represented by the DD. Then we say this is a process in which plants generate their food through the sun. Good. And let's save this. Then we go to our browser. Then we refresh this. So you can see the term is you can see this is photosynthesis, which has the term defined. So this photosynthesis is the definition term. The term we are defining is photosynthesis. Then the definition description is everything on this line of this photosynthesis. So this is what describes what photosynthesis is. So let's actually try by putting other things right there. Let's add another definition term tag to call this ecosystem. Then we have the definition description tag below it, and we say this is the interaction of biotic and abiotic substances in an environment. Then let's save this. Then we go to our browser. Then we refresh this. So you can see we actually get another term. We have the description below. So that is the third list tag that we have in HTML. But people don't actually categorize this under the tag they don't actually categorize this under the list tag. So you can just you ask the types of lists in HTML. You can just say we have the ordered list and the unordered list. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So let's have a recap of what we have been looking at in this tutorial. We have talked about the types of lists, which are ordered lists, definition list, and the list tag itself. And under the definition list, we have the definition term and the definition description. So those are the types of lists we have in HTML. As we talked about, the unordered list is the one with the bulleted it's listed in the bullet form. So and the attribute it has the type attribute is the disk, circle, and square, and the disk is the default of the browser. So that's all under unordered lists. But for ordered list, we have two attributes: type attributes and the start attribute. The type attribute is just used to tell the browser the type of list you want. Is it number or alphabet or index? So that's what the type attribute is used for. And the other attribute, which is the start attribute, it is used to specify the number you want your list to start from. So that's what the start attribute is used for, and those are the two main attributes we have for the ordered list. And for the list tag itself, it's just mainly used to create more lists
and it only applies to the ordered and the unordered list, but the description list doesn't have the list tag in it. Rather, it has the definition term and the definition description. So here we have the definition list. It consists of the definition term and the definition description. The definition term just to specify what you want to define, and the definition description to define what is in the definition term. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video, and if you have more information on the list tags, I highly recommend you to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you. And also, don't forget to hit the notification button to get notified when we upload new videos. Thank you.